Hello everybody, today we are going to make a squirrel and we're going to use basic lines, basic shapes, and we're going to use those to create a really fluffy squirrel eating a acorn. Alright, first things first, we're going to draw his eye. On the left side of your paper, you're going to draw a circle, and that's going to be for his eye or her eye. Then what you're going to do is you're going to draw a little tiny circle inside our first circle, and that's going to be for the highlight inside your squirrel's eye. And then I'm just going to color in the rest black, so it looks like an eye, and then it has a little bit of white for the highlight that makes it look shiny. Okay. So now we need to make the head for our squirrel. So I'm going to make a curvy line over my eye on the top, and then I'm just gonna make it come down a little bit more, okay? And then I'm gonna make another curvy line going underneath the eye, and that's gonna make the bottom part of his head, or her head. Then I'm going to make the ears. For the ears, I'm making a C shape, and then a backward C shape together to make that ear. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side behind it to make the two ears for our squirrel. And after that, we're going to make the squirrel's arms, because this is gonna be holding a acorn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw a curvy line that goes underneath the head and comes out almost to where the mouth would be right here, because he's gonna be holding the acorn up to his mouth or her mouth. And then I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna go back towards the body, just like that. So I have a curvy line that goes from the head over here, goes down, comes around, and then goes back, okay? And that's gonna make his arm and his hand. If you wanna make the little fingers, you can do that too. All right, so squirrels have really fluffy tails, and we're gonna make that in a minute. But before we make the fluffy tail, we're gonna make the side of his leg, because we're doing a side profile, so you're gonna see his leg, and it's gonna look like a C shape. So right where my arm is, right here where it ends, I'm gonna make a big C shape, and that's gonna be for his leg. And then I'm going to draw his foot. So from the back of this C shape, or this C line right here, I'm gonna draw a straight line that comes out, and that's gonna be for one of his feet. I can draw another line right here for his other foot. And I'm gonna make this one come out a little bit less further. That's gonna make it look like that leg is a little bit further back. And then I'm gonna draw a line from his feet all the way up past underneath his arm, and it's gonna touch his head, just like that. To make his fluffy tail, I'm gonna make an S line, and it's gonna start right here where his leg is. So we're gonna go up, and we're gonna curve in and then out, and see how that makes like an S? And I want to have a curly tail, so I'm gonna have it go up just a little bit more. It's gonna have like a hook at the end of it, like this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back around and bring the rest of his tail to his leg right there. And after that, I'm gonna draw a line from his ears to his tail, and that's gonna make his back. And now we have a squirrel with a really fluffy tail. To draw the acorn that he's holding onto, I'm gonna draw a curvy line coming out from his arm, then another one on the other side, a straight line across to make the top of that acorn, and then another curvy line. So we're using lots of curvy lines. And then I'm gonna put the little stem on top of it. If you wanna draw the nose for your squirrel, can just be a little like triangle shape. And then if you want to make the eye for the other side, if his head is a little bit tilted towards us, we're just gonna make another circle like that, and then leave a little bit of white for the highlight. And there you have it, a squirrel holding a nut, and he's kind of like nibbling it and enjoying it. To make the tail look fluffier, you can use your marker or your pencil, and you can draw lines coming out of the tail like they're sticking out, and this is going to make his tail or her tail look bushy. Really fluffy. I'll do the same thing on this side. Awesome. And then I'm gonna put a line behind my squirrel. Now, your squirrel could be standing on a branch, so if I make another line over here, you could be standing on the branch of a tree or underneath a tree, wherever you want to put your squirrel. And now what you can do is you can start coloring your squirrel in. Squirrels can be red, they can be black, they can be gray. I think I'm gonna make a gray squirrel. So I'm gonna get my gray marker and I'm gonna start coloring in my squirrel. And right now I'm just going around the outlines of my squirrel. I'm just taking my time and I'm following those lines with my gray marker. I'm using a thin marker. If you wanted to use a thicker marker, it might be easier, so I'm going to try a thicker gray marker. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm going to color in my squirrel. I'm going to leave his nose white because I want to color that like a little red. And then I might leave a little bit of white around his eyes too. You could even use the scribble coloring in technique that we used on the other stuff that we drew on our pumpkin. But either way, it's gonna look really good. And then I think actually for the nose, I'm gonna use a peach or a pink. Perfect. And then for the acorn, I'm gonna make it a light brown on the bottom and then a dark brown up top. And then for the tree, since I think this is a branch, I'm gonna flip my paper around. I'm gonna draw some lines like this to give the texture of a tree branch, like that really rough kind of bark. And then if you want, you could add leaves. So maybe I want to add some leaves hanging off my branch. I have two coming off here, and then I think I want an orange leaf. Just making a spiky leaf. Maybe I'll make an orange one there, and then a red one over here. And there's so many different shapes of leaves. You could come up with any kind of shape of leaf you would like. And then if you want to draw the lines inside the leaves, you can. You can color the leaves in, totally up to you. Awesome. All right, and I think I want to do a little bit of pink on the inside of his ears like that. All right, and then maybe I'll add a little bit more color inside these leaves. You could even have your squirrel sitting on a pumpkin. They really like to eat pumpkins too. If you ever put a pumpkin on your porch and you have little bite marks on it, it's because the squirrel was eating it. All right, and then up here, maybe I want another leaf. So maybe I'll have one like falling down. Okay, well, that is our squirrel eating his acorn. And then if you wanted to add more details, you can. If you want to add some more texture onto that acorn by adding some lines, you can do that. Maybe I want to make some dots too, to give that texture at the top of the acorn. Awesome. Well, this looks really great. I can't wait to see your squirrels. And have fun, enjoy yourself, and happy fall.